Hello. Am I on live? Oh. Wait. Something happened. Hello, hey ho. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for coming back, sorry. Hello, Chloe. Hi, Belinda. Thank you for tuning in on Wednesday daytime. Hi, Sam. Hey. I will wait for a little bit. So tomorrow in Hong Kong we have a bank holiday. I'm actually hosting a birthday party for a friend, a very good friend. His birthday is today, and we're actually celebrating his birthday. That's why I changed my live demo time. I'm so sorry, but he's one of my best friends, and we're hosting a birthday party at the studio for him tomorrow. Hi, Chloe. Okay, so thank you for coming back, and I am going to start the summary. Now, first of all, we do the letter O. So I'm going to use the nib without ink, and you can see the details. Now, as a reminder, first of all, we want to do to start slightly below the ascended to line, adding pressure and reducing. Now, when you reduce the pressure, what you can think about is about 1/3 above the baseline is you start to reduce the pressure, and you come down, reducing the pressure, back to a hairline, going up, relax. Do the second indirect oval, and this time when you add pressure, add less pressure so that this line is thinner than the primary shade. Okay, and notice that the second oval is about 2x height tall, and this will reach the ascender 1 line. Okay, maybe I'll use this one instead. Sorry, you can see the ascender 1. So you can see it reaches the ascender 1. Now, add a secondary shade here, and you want to exit with a very thin hairline, and then you lift and move your nib going back top up, the top part, okay, and you retrace the thin hairline coming down, adding pressure, light pressure again, and back to your hairline. When they intersect, it should be a 90-degree angle, so we call this perpendicular. Okay, now if we look at this page, what we always do is to circle all the details. The first part is your oval. So in the letter O, you will first, of course, you come down, you will have a bigger oval. Okay, then this will lead into the second indirect oval. So indirect means from this direction coming down. Sorry, I'm mixing things up. It's direct oval. Okay, let me write down. Direct oval. So it's going this way. Sorry, it's a direct oval. Now there's 2 oval. The last one is this oval. And notice this oval, it's facing with an axis that way, which is different from these two because they are intersecting on a 55-degree. This is not. Okay, second part we need to look is the slant. Okay, so when we look at the slant, it's quite straightforward. This is on the 55-degree main slant. This is also on the slant. Quite easy. If you want, you can add here and here as well. You see this curve, the center will hit the slant. Now for negative space, what we need to first look is this train track parallel spacing. I call it train track because it reminds you that they have to be parallel, like the train track, right? So the window about the train. Okay, so they have to go parallel in order to run, or you can think about it as parallel spacing, which is a little bit boring, the term. Okay, what else? For the negative space, you can also think about, if this is on slant, you will notice that it's a triangle. The negative space, oops, sorry, I'm completely out of it. You will also see that it's a little triangle that fits here. These triangles act as a reminder for you. So I'll use this. If you fit the triangle right here, and you fit the triangle right here, what it indicates is this is the point, right? This point is when you reduce the pressure. So I say cut down the pressure, cut. And maybe I write down, cut down the pressure. And this point, this triangle, is to increase the pressure. So don't add the pressure very quickly because it will make your the heavy line go higher up, which is not so pretty. Hi Rachel, welcome, welcome. What time is it over there? You're based in the UK, right? Now there is also a little triangle here. So if you put a slant line, you should fit in the triangle here. So these are the negative space that you will pay attention to. Okay, now moving on, we'll talk about C. I keep changing notes. Now with letter C. Okay, now first, for letter C, you again start slightly below the ascending 2 and you come down clockwise, anti-clockwise, and draw an oval. So thin, adding pressure, in the center is the heaviest, back to thin, going up, relax, another oval, coming down, do not add pressure, and lift. Then you want to add a small synthetic shade on the right hand side of this smaller oval and lift. Now you want to then work on the top almond shape. If you look at this, you will see this is an almond. So it's not very oval, because almond, you can picture if there's some lines, the almond is brown color, right? It's kind of this shape. Okay, now with the top almond, you can have 3 different ways to finish, to write it. The first one is you can start retrace here, add a little bit pressure and come down with a thin hairline and lift. You travel with your nib in the air and immediately place it down, press and aim to connect. Looks like they are joined up, but they're actually done in 2 strokes. The reason we do that is because we don't want to pull the inks out from this wet puddle, because you just literally draw this central the central part then you retrace, add, come down, lift, travel, then actually put the nib down and lift. Now second option is you do again the center part, touch here, and you travel here. Sorry, you not travel, but you actually put your nib down. Start from the left and lift, then coming on the right and lift, 2-stroke. Third option is you come from the left, add pressure, back to thin hairline, lift, continue going up, light hand and lift, then you add the synthetic shade. Okay, so it's up to you. There's a fourth mesh option. It's just doing one go. Lift, add synthetic shade here and synthetic shade here. Personally, I would suggest try option 1, 2, 3 first, because you want to build the center part. Then you work on the element on the top. Now with letter C, we will find a letter C here. Okay, oval. Of course, you come down, there is a clear oval going on here, then it will lead into a smaller oval. The element has an oval-ish, but the oval is higher up here. So this is the element part. Oops, sorry. Let's do it again. This is the element part, but the oval actually is more lifted up. Okay, now for the slant, quite relatively easy. This part right here is on slant, this is on slant, this part is on slant. Okay, if you want, you can add that about the midpoint. This is touching the slant as well. Negative space. For negative space, you want to think about the train track between here and here. You want to think about, I would say, definitely kind of like this spacing, because sometimes you may be practicing and sometimes you go really wide. So you want to keep an eye on this negative space and make sure they are more or less the same across S, L, and G, and C. Now, because we are human beings, it's okay to be slightly bigger, slightly smaller, but you want to aim consistency, then you think about how wide this spacing will be across these alphabets. Okay? Okay, now, moving on. How's everyone doing? Okay? It's funny because sometimes when I'm doing live, I don't know whether it's because people are really focusing and then it's very quiet. What I mean is there's no messages going on. Whether you are really enjoying it or whether it's really boring. But I guess you're enjoying it. That's what I'm thinking. It's a lot of information. Chloe asked me, why did I draw cartoons? Because I draw the cartoon, the train track, to represent the idea. Okay, E. Starting with a direct oval, which is coming down, slightly below the ascended 2, come down anti-clockwise. Then draw the top smaller oval. So this is the top smaller oval. Then you come down. Once past the ascended 1 line, you want to loop backwards to create a larger oval on the bottom. Continue going upwards. You want to draw another oval which doesn't have a thick line when you come down. Okay, you want to keep it thin, a hairline. Then you lift your pen. Add a small synthetic shade on the right hand side of this smaller direct oval, like that. Then we go back to the enclosing the stroke. Okay, so to close it, we can move the nib up to the top right to the hairline. So at the start here, there's a hairline, right? We want to retrace the hairline upwards, come down, thinking about an oval, and up, and lift, and add a small synthetic shade, like that. Then what you want to do is you want to turn the page, turn the page, not the camera. I'm reminding myself. Then you want to just a very tiny little shade. Now one thing is, if you can't really see the spacing in the middle, then please do not add the synthetic shade, because it will be impossible to see the loop. I would say that synthetic shade is kind of optional, but traditionally they do that. So okay, so that's letter E. Now of course you can write everything in one stroke, so you can do thin, thicker, back to thin, up, relax, gradation of pressure again, back to thin hairline. Make sure once it passes A1, it should be a thin hairline. Then you make a loop, gradation of pressure, back to thin, up, relax, then you lift. You can add the synthetic shade here. Okay, now for E, we will okay, for E, the oval. So you have 1 oval, 2 oval, 3 oval, 4, and number 5. If you want to count this tiny one, can kind of count as an oval if you want. Slant, next one. You put a slant, you notice that this part, it's hitting on the slant. It's hitting on the slant. This somehow it's on the parallel slant. So you see this will hit in the middle, and this will be hitting on the slant in the middle. Make sure you want the E, the top part of the E, the oval, it's smaller. The bottom will take up a longer portion. As zoom out, you should be able to see it. Okay, what else? Negative space, train track, they're parallel. Of course, you can, if you want to think about triangle, you should see a triangle. These little triangles just remind you to add the pressure after a while. Okay, so here come down, you only want to increase the pressure after you come down for a bit, and then you add pressure. Thin, thicker, back to thin. It's about 1/3. So if I put the triangle here, I think it's, yeah, I put on my notes, it's about 1/3, which is kind of true, right? So if you think about, if you don't like numbers, you just remind yourself before the baseline you have to reduce the pressure. That is also fine. But if you divided this 1, 2, so this point, 1/3 of it before baseline, you should reduce the pressure. So that's the negative space. Okay. Okay, last one. Okay. No, let's do letter D. With the letter D on my notes, I actually put down the oval form, but let's not confuse you. We will do this first. So you want to start coming down, adding pressure, universal line of beauty basically, reducing pressure and curve out and make a loop, and going up, relax, following that oval, coming down, adding pressure, reduce, touching about the waistline, then you come up and lift. If we add the oval now to show you, this is my center line. Okay, this is the center that dissects the both sides. This line is dissecting these two sides. So you want to come down, up, relax, add the pressure in the center and up. Notice this is sitting on the waistline. WL is waistline, and here is in the middle. This is very ugly. Well, because I have no cushion paper underneath, I'll just use a ruler. Okay, you see, this pretty much dissect the oval into half. In between them is about this line. So what I call A and B earlier. Okay, if you missed that, you can check out my Instagram, the IGTV video that I just saved. It will show you how to write that D using the drawing the oval method. Now don't forget, I always tend to forget, turn the paper this way, and you want to add a synthetic shade, a very light one, to help make it more elegant. Okay, so that's letter D. Now we will go to the last part. Oh, I almost spilled the ink. No. Okay, here. We will have a look at the D. So for oval, quite obviously, you will have large oval, then you have this oval. In the line of universal beauty, this is the line of universal beauty, you'll have this oval, and this oval. Slant. On slant, this part, put a slant here about the center part, it's on the slant. Of course, when you put the slant here, the curve where the center will be on slant. Next, negative space, train track between here and here. Dr. Joe Fitolo has taught, I learned this from Dr. Joe as well. This is, you see, they are parallel to each other between this line and this. I believe it's from his method. Okay, so there are two train tracks going on. Now, of course, if you want to see that triangle, it's here. But I think in the letter D, it's important that you keep this nice spacing. Okay, I think this is the last day for the live demo for all the capital letters, 26 of them. We completed it. If you have missed all of the videos, they are all available on the IGTV. I mentioned last week that I am working on the nooks. I am finalizing them. I'm actually adding more and more details, so that's why I haven't been publishing it. And a few of you been messaging me directly and ask me whether it's available, which is very kind of you. So hopefully what I'll do is I'll have a digital version of the notes that I've been going through all the details with all the information. I will also provide these pages where you can practice your own study. So sometimes it's better just to learn by looking and really understanding rather than just writing and writing. So this is the page where you can write down all the ovals, the negative space, the parallel slant, things like that I've been talking about. I am also doing each alphabet an enlarged version with all the arrows, so it's taking a lot of time on adding that, so please bear with me, but they will be available very soon. And how you can get them, first of all, when it's available, it will be announced on my Instagram. I'll probably make a post, but if you ever missed it, you can always check out my website, shop.kalomakeart.com. It has all the copy sheets that I have been demonstrating since March. So I have the digital version and also a printed version. So digital means you can download the file yourself and you can print it wherever you are in the world. Also, great thing is you can go to my Instagram profile and click on my the link tree, which is the link on the profile, and she'll lead you to my newsletter. So do sign up the newsletter, because I hope to announce it on the newsletter as well, so that you make sure you get the information. Okay. Will I be also able to include a Roman capital? Yes, I think I can do that for sure. With just a simple skeleton structure of the Roman capital, because everything is related back to the Roman capital. Oh, that's a great idea. But just give me extra 2 days to add that information on. But I think that's a good. But if you want, you can also just Google search Roman capital. You should have tons and tons of images available online as well. Okay, you can try that as well. But I think that's a great suggestion. Thank you so much. Now, if you have any ideas or any suggestion for me, please let me know. See how I can improve. I am thinking of doing the lowercase. You probably heard me saying this in July. My workshop is starting again, because the virus in Hong Kong, it's a little bit better, so we can host more workshops. So I'm thinking of staying on the Wednesday, which is usually at the evening Hong Kong time, 8:30 p.m. So stay tuned. I will announce it on my Instagram again. So lowercase next time, using the classic lowercase practice paper, which will look like this. Okay, they're really beautiful. I like them a lot. I'm actually quite happy with the design of the packaging. It's quite simple, but it also shows you which pack is which. Okay, so thank you so much. If you're in Hong Kong, have a great day off tomorrow. Don't work too hard. And for those who are overseas, please have fun. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the practice sheet. Thank you. Oh, for letter S, please just check out the SLG. It's all on the Instagram, so just go back and watch it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye. You want to see Kola? She moved. Hi, baby. Oh, she's lazy. Bye, guys. Kola. Half-heartedly.